Welcome everyone, I am Dufour and I'm here to talk to you about procrastination. Just kidding, my name is not Velour, it is Jess. I'm just wearing velour. For those of you who procrastinate, I just want to let you know that you are not lazy, you're not broken, and this isn't a time management issue. It's actually your brain trying to keep you safe from something that it perceives as a threat. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what's happening in your brain when you procrastinate and how to finally break free. Just so that we're all on the same page, I'm defining procrastination as the act of delaying the task you know you need to do, even though it will benefit you in the long run. And this has nothing to do with laziness. In fact, people who procrastinate are actually getting a lot of things done. They're just not getting done the thing that they need to do. When you procrastinate, you're actually experiencing a fear response. Your subconscious mind is running an old safety program, and the more you try to willpower your way through it, the deeper your resistance will become. Now, I want to teach you a quick, simple tool. This is one that Mel Robbins created to help you get out of procrastination. She came up with the 5-second rule. And this actually works for a lot of people, but if it doesn't work for you, I don't want you to panic because I'm going to show you what's going on that's causing this not to work for you. What she recommends is that you count down from 5 to 1, like a rocket taking off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just take action. Set a timer for 5 minutes on your phone and just take action on the task that you need to do. And for most people, taking action within those 5 minutes will lead to a longer time of taking action. But for some people, it won't. But for those of you out there where this doesn't work for you, then keep listening because what I'm about to share with you will completely change how you see your procrastination. If you keep trying tricks and hacks and nothing is sticking, then this is a sign that there's a deeper issue outside of your conscious awareness. Now, most people who chronically procrastinate, well, their brain is doing what it's designed to do, and that's to protect you and keep you safe. That's its number one job. Now, I want to draw a little picture for you. So here's you. And here's the task you need to do. So it's simple. You do your task. That's what we're hoping for. But with procrastination, when you see your task, then you get diverted and you go over here and you do this other activity. This could be raking leaves in the backyard. It could be cleaning your fish tank. It could be cleaning that back room with a bunch of clutter. Just whatever it is that isn't the task you need to do. So we got to understand here that the reason this happens for people who procrastinate is right in this moment where they see this task, what's happening is your brain notices a trigger. The trigger in this case is the task, okay? Then the trigger leads to a behavior, and that behavior leads to a reward. So the behavior here is the procrastination, and the reward is momentary relief from that negative feeling that's associated with the task. So these negative feelings that are showing up show up really fast. So fast it's instantaneous because your subconscious mind is bringing this to the surface to protect you from something that it sees as dangerous. Maybe you're afraid of failing. Maybe you're afraid of succeeding and being judged. Maybe your perfectionism is saying, hey, if this isn't amazing and perfect, then I'm going to be rejected. But of course, this is not conscious. This is happening at a subconscious level where if you make a mistake, maybe you'll be punished or rejected. And to the subconscious mind, being rejected from the tribe is not safe. It wants you to be part of the tribe and it wants you to be liked. In our brain, we have an amygdala, and our amygdala is the fear center of our brain. And when it gets activated, it produces adrenaline. When the amygdala senses risk or danger, it activates our fight, flight, or freeze mode. So procrastination is just your nervous system going into a freeze response. It is your mind and body telling you that there is a potential threat here and it's trying to protect you by having you avoid the task that it perceives as dangerous. But why would working on creating a course for our business or outlining our book or making a YouTube video seem almost life-threatening to your brain? Let's look at this a little bit more closely and see what's going on in the brain of this little stick figure. Because what's happening in this moment, and it's happening very quickly, is that the mind, your mind, or the mind of the stick figure, the subconscious mind, is pulling up a file. And in this file, these are filled with images, feelings, sounds, memories, and beliefs. So the memories really encompass all these things. And in this file, usually these feelings are negative feelings. I'm doing a K for kinesthetic. These are negative feelings. meaning like what's coming up for this person when they see this task is possibly dread, insecurity, self-doubt, for some people even self-hatred, fear, anxiety. And so what they do is the brain goes, this is dangerous. This task here is dangerous. So what I'm going to do is go do something else that's not dangerous to get that reward, which is a better feeling state. It wants you to feel good. So what we need to do in order to change procrastination, in order for you to do this task, is we need to look at this file and see what's going on. Now this file for this stick figure, for any person out there, for you, what's in this file is going to be different. What was in this file for me is different than what's going to be in this file for you, and what's in this file for my clients is different for every single one of them. So now let me share you an example of what's going on in this file that's keeping you stuck. In that file, the brain is presenting to you quickly a series of images, feelings, and beliefs and memories that are stopping you or this little stick figure from taking action. And this is all happening at a subconscious level, and it happens quickly. So I'm going to share with you 3 examples of clients that I've worked with on procrastination and what was showing up in that file or folder for them, what their subconscious mind was presenting to them. One client I worked with on this issue, his subconscious mind was stopping him because he had a fear of success that he wasn't even aware of. When we accessed this file that his brain had saved, we saw that his brain had stored this experience that he had when he was little. He saw his father working on his own business, and he was very successful, but he was sued by a lot of people who were trying to take his money. So his brain decided from that experience that if I'm successful, people are going to try to take his money. And now when he goes to try to do something, tries to do that task, which will push his business forward, the subconscious mind pulls up this file and says, alert, 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 this is not safe. People are going to try to take your money. And that's what causes him to procrastinate. That's what causes these feelings of dread to show up, these feelings of anxiety and fear to show up that cause him to go do yard work instead. The key here is you need to change the meaning of that file that your brain keeps pulling up. Because if you don't change the meaning of that file, you won't change the behavior. Another client of mine during a session when we pulled up what was stopping her from getting the task done that she wanted to get done was a memory of her father, who was an alcoholic, scolding her anytime she would put on a play for her parents or her friends' parents when they all came over to the house. Her father would get angry at any kind of slight noise that was being made, and she learned that it was better to be quiet and not seen in order to be safe. So her subconscious mind, anytime she tried to make a YouTube video, was pulling up this file in order to keep her safe, because if she wasn't seen and she wasn't heard, she'd be out of harm's way. So when we change, we're not changing the file, we're not changing what happened to you in the past, we're changing how your brain interpreted that event. And that's what's going to change your behavior, because it's going to change your emotional state. You're no longer going to dread, you're no longer going to have anxiety, you're no longer going to have fear, because your brain's going to have the full picture, the full understanding of what was really happening, and that's what gets programmed into your subconscious. So that now when you see this task, you don't have that barrier standing between you and what you really want to achieve in this world. Another client of mine had a task that they wanted to read more. Now, anytime they tried to sit down and read a book, their brain was pulling up a file that was stopping them from reading, that was causing them to feel scrambled, causing them not to pay attention, and they would just put the book down, feeling defeated, and go make a cake instead, because it was easier to make a cake, and it's more fun to eat a cake. Is that when we looked at this file, what showed up was that when she was younger, she would study, her dad would help her study in school. Her dad would read to her the books that they were studying together, and she would kind of think about other things and daydream and wasn't really paying attention, because I think it was history that she was learning and she wasn't excited by it in any way. So her father would end up, her father didn't do this intentionally to hurt her, but her father would yell at her to get her to pay attention. But her brain had stored in that file that every time she tried to pick up a book to read, she heard her father yelling at her. And so it was very distracting and hard for her to get the task done. So her subconscious mind, anytime it tries to go to read, pulls up this file to protect her, like, this is not good, you are going to get yelled at. So it plays that for her to stop her from doing the task that it perceives as dangerous. But it's just reading. When we change the feeling of the file and what that file means, we're not changing the facts of what happened. What happened was she got yelled at by her father. We're not changing the facts of that, but we're changing the meaning her brain made of that. That's what's going to stop the procrastination so she can get her task done. When your subconscious truly believes, that you are safe doing the task that you want to do, then you'll easily be able to get that task done without resistance. You need to reprogram that success is safe, maybe that failing is only learning, and that you won't get rejected if you try something. Change the meaning of that file that your brain keeps pulling up, and you'll change your behavior. This is what I help my clients do. I help them change the meaning of that file so that they can do what they want to do. When you do this, you don't have to force yourself to be different. You will just be different, and you'll get the task done with confidence. In the comments below, what I'd like you to do is let me know what you think is in that file. What is stopping you from getting that task done? Most likely it's a memory from the past, a traumatic experience that you had. If you have a hard time accessing that file on your own, no worries, that's what I'm here for. In the description down below, I have a link for a complimentary 15-minute Zoom call. Get this while it's available because it's not going to last forever, and we can see if working together will be a good fit. This is what I help people do. I help them change the meaning of that file so they can stop sabotaging themselves and have the success in life that they desire. If you got value out of this video, please give it a thumbs up and share this with a fellow procrastinator so that we can finally get what we want to get done. And if you are interested in eliminating subconscious self-sabotage, then follow me for more.